We're doing a test run, but let's go live with this gentleman. Welcome to ES Mock Draft Live. My name is Tim Wood. I am the ES editor-in-chief for NFL, all things NFL. With us today is senior writers Daniel Rios and Luke Hubbard. How are you today, gentlemen?
Freaking fantastic, Tim.
Yeah, we're trying it again. We're going live. We're trying it again.
Yeah.
How are you feeling in terms of what you got for your mock teams and how you feeling about your picks? We didn't do any trades ahead of time. We'll keep it simple this time. Maybe we'll do some trading for the next attempt here. But yeah, how you feeling about your mock capabilities here?
I'm feeling great. I mean, draft's in 3 weeks. I mean, this is peak excitement for the draft season. First round, I kind of feel like got a good grasp on. But I think when it comes to draft day, you're going to see a lot of these teams and where their true strategies are, and it's kind of fun to predict what teams are really going to value in this draft. So I think I kind of like the teams I got. Excited to make these picks.
Let us know what you think of our picks in the comments. Like, subscribe us. We're streaming live on YouTube and Twitter today. We'll add in some other platforms, but wanted to just see how we could do with Twitter and YouTube. All right, let's get to the board. We've tipped our hand here a little bit on the first pick, but I don't think it's much of a shock. So let's enter the draft room. Daniel, give us the shocker here.
Tim, hit ready.
Yeah. So yeah, you got to hit ready.
Ready again. There you go. You're on the clock.
I'm gonna take Tyson. I'm just kidding. Fernando Mendoza,
Nice.
number one overall. Yeah, I kind of hit on it already, in our previous one, but we're not gonna talk about that. 6'4". I mean, he's the ideal NFL size. He's 6'5", ideal NFL size. He can take hits, and that's just I think what teams are going to fall in love with. He has an arm, he has the intangibles, he's smart, he's accurate with the football outside the numbers. Not much of a layer kind of thrower. Won't really, get the ball over linebackers and in between safeties, but he can really, launch that ball down the field. Perfect for what Clint Kubiak wants in his quarterback. And with the signing of Kirk Cousins today, I mean, it's a perfect fit for him just to kind of sit behind and learn behind Cousins, who's been in the NFL for over a decade now and is somehow one of the richest players in history, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, there's no more that needs to be said about Mendoza. Tom Brady's going to love this guy. This is a perfect pick for a team that's rebuilding and a head coach who wants to make that first pick. That's the first draft class is very important, and Mendoza's a perfect headliner for that draft class.
Have you used your full 120? Did you
No, that
knock
was
that like right at 120? Well done. Well done. All right. So next up would be me. I have been all over the map with the Jets in terms of it's going to be David Bailey or Arvell Reese. Acquiring Geno Smith, sending edge rusher Jermaine Johnson to the Titans kind of tipped the hand on what the what the Jets might be thinking here. Initially, we're thinking maybe they go safety, maybe they go Caleb Downs at 2, but given the moves, um, you know, some talk about reaching for a quarterback here. I'm gonna roll the dice and say that the quarterback I want is still gonna be available at that spot down the line here, which I've got 16 as well. So, and maybe I won't even do that. Maybe I'm just gonna wait until the second round. Who knows? I'm gonna keep you guys on tilt. I'm going to the U. No, to the Ohio State. I'm going with Arvell Reese. Not a huge shock per se, but I just think he fits. I think he fit. He split his time between linebacker, edge rusher, but he's got Micah Parsons kind of written all over him for me. I love what I saw on the field. Um, Violent hands, great burst. Um, yeah, that's where I'm going with the Jets. So
All right. Well, Tim took a quarter of my time, but I
yeah, I
won't
did.
take too
You're
long.
welcome.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean,
Perfect.
throughout all my mocks, I've been going back and forth between Francis Maui Noah and David Bailey here for the Cardinals. Obviously they need offensive line; that's their biggest need. But the question is, does Maui Noah's skill level meet the third overall pick? I've gone with Bailey in my last few mocks, but I think I'm going to go with Maui Noah here just because Mike LaFleur coming in, bringing with that offense, he's going to need offensive linemen because right now their offensive line is just a mess. So build up front, get your quarterback next year, and hopefully make a run with that offense. So Maui Noah will be my pick, and it'll probably change again before draft night. Oh,
Oh,
there we go.
that is fair. With the Titans here at number 4 overall, I'm between two players, and that's Jeremiah Love and Sonny Styles. I've been on the train of, you got to help Cam Ward somehow. You got him number 1 overall, and he flashed for you with a truly awful team last year. You go out in free agency, you build that defense, you sign Alontae Taylor, you trade for Jermaine Johnson, you sign John Franklin Myers, you shore up some of those needs, on along the defensive line and in the back end. Linebacker's still a real need for them. So with Styles, it's like he's a converted safety. He's sideline to sideline. Block destruction is his, superpower in this draft. And we've seen Robert Saleh really develop linebackers at a high level. Fred Warner's obviously been one of the best, and those are where the comparisons come in. But then it's like, well, if you want Cam Ward to succeed, why not give him as much help as possible? So, attacking or getting a guy like Jeremiah Love, who's the best player in the class for me, elite burst, speed is off the charts, can catch the ball, can, just make electric cuts while doing it at full speed. So it's kind of a toss up for me here. And this is what I hate about, live things because now I gotta, you hear me talk and try to decide what I want to do.
Yeah, I'm trying to make graphics. I had
Um,
got two names typed already. Say a
yeah,
name already.
it's I think I just I'm not a big, guy, and if you have a rookie quarterback, you have him on a deal, so you gotta, maximize it. So I'm gonna pick Jeremiah Love for the Titans here. Number 1 player in the class for me. You get him at number 4. He's up there with the best prospects we've seen at running back in Saquon Barkley and Bijan Robinson. I think he's better than Ashton Genty, who came out last year. I'm gonna take Love at number 4 overall.
Nice. There it is. It's on the board. I am up on the Giants. Needs, as you can see on the screen: wide receiver, guard, linebacker, safety. Lot of talk right now. If you look at the mock draft database, for instance, consensus would have us selecting, and you can see it right there on the board, right there. Uh, Top player on the board, Sonny Styles with Ohio State. Love him. Love him. Want to be him for Thanksgiving. For excuse me. Want to be him for Halloween. But in turn for Thanksgiving too. Sure. But for me, the Giants have so many needs, but Caleb Downs for me is the perfect fit for new coach John Harbaugh. I can't ignore it. He coached Ed Reed. He coached Kyle Hamilton in Baltimore. He loves a safety project, and as much as I really would like to get sexy here, go wide receiver, go Sonny Styles here. I'm gonna switch things up a little bit, and I'm going Caleb Downs at number 5. So
Number 2 overall player. It's not a bad pick in my opinion.
yeah, I mean it's not right, but I mean he's been slipping. He's been slipping down boards, and I don't get it when
Tim,
we
you're
talk
running out
about
of
him
time.
being
You
the
gotta
number
pick.
2 overall player. I know. I got.
Yeah,
Thanks, man. Thanks.
I'm trying to
I,
just
I I can juggle. I can juggle.
make sure you don't have to restart again.
I'm just trying to give you as much time as possible at
oh,
6,
you
but
got 5 seconds, Bucko.
bucko.
All right. There's a lot of hype
I'm
right
trying
now
to-
for Caleb
You just
Proctor to the Browns
you're
at number
wait a
6.
second. No, you guys are saying that I'm the old fart, and you just called me bucko. Wow. Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
so Luke, you the Browns?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So right now there's all the rumors about Caden Proctor to the Browns at number 6. It kind of seems like a BS rumor to me. I think there's a better chance he goes to them at 24 than at 6. I think that's just kind of either an agent putting out some sort of hype for his player or just a smokescreen in general from the Browns. I have had them going with Maui Noah in all my mocks leading up to this, but now that I put Maui Noah to the Cardinals at 3, I think I'm gonna have to pivot to receiver here. And I think the only one that's worth this top pick right now is Cardinal Tate. Even though I do think Jordan Tyson is the best receiver in this draft class, but his medicals are just too scary to take this high. So I'm gonna go ahead, take Cardinal Tate, and give whoever the hell's playing quarterback there next year at least some sort of a weapon. Because right now they got nothing
Yeah.
out wide.
You said Caden Proctor has been rumored to go 6 to them.
Yeah.
I have
Proctor's
not.
been
That
rumored.
that would
Listen,
shock me.
some
That would
folks
shock me.
have, yeah, it would, right? But I mean, some folks
No,
have
there's just no way.
Ty Simpson going here, right? Tony heard all sorts of buzz, and you know kept backing it up. Yeah, kept backing it up with just a lot of meetings and a lot of research being done on Simpson. Um, so, but you're going wide receiver here. Very fascinating. By the way, Daniel, can you I don't turn like I'm about to pass out just watching your fan. There, there, oh, buddy, there we go. Thank you so much.
All right. We've
Uh,
used about half of Daniel's time, so
It's okay. Picks already in my head. With Carnell Tate going there at 6, the Commanders. This is not to spoil my article, but I really think that they're a real trade down candidate here. They just do not have any picks in the second and third round, but they can really answer their needs in receiver, defensive line, and running back with that range of picks they just don't have. So you look at it, Carnell Tate's gone. Next receiver on the board for me would be Tyson. Tyson's my number one, like you said as well, Luke. It's just the injuries, man. It's nothing that I really want to risk here in the top 10. They added pass rush with Chase on and away from the Chargers this past offseason. So I think I'm going to go linebacker here. Sonny Styles falls here. You get a rangy player, sideline to sideline. Like I said, almost took him at 4. He falls here, and this is a Commander's dream. I mean, if you're a Commanders fan, you are jumping up and down on draft night if Styles somehow gets the 7 to you. This is a great pick for Washington and the Dan Quinn defense.
Oh, Dan Quinn is salivating. Dan Quinn's high fiving you right now. Are you kidding me? He is
Uh,
giddy. He is giddy. He's giddy that defense won out at 7 right here.
yeah. So as a Saints fan who has the 8th pick, this is like a dream scenario for me. Like having both the edge rushers and Mansour Delane still on the board here at 8. Like, I mean, I would have loved Jeremiah Love, even though we got Travis Etienne now, or Achan, however he wants to pronounce his last name. But I think realistically, knowing how Mickey Loomis likes to draft, he loves going to the trenches, offensive line, defensive line. The offensive line's looking pretty good. They need a guard, but that can be addressed later. I've been going Ruben Bain in all my mocks, but David Bailey hasn't been on the board, so I think I have to go with David Bailey if he falls to 8. I mean, I think he's the best pure pass rusher in this class. Pair him with Chase Young, and all of a sudden the Saints pass rush is one of the best in the NFC. So yeah,
So
David Bailey.
you're going David Bailey. Okay.
Sorry, my
Um,
cat's eating my computer charger. But yes, I'm going David Bailey.
okay. That is I was not expecting that. I won't lie.
Well, I didn't think he'd make it to 8.
Did you have any thought process of going wide receiver there?
No,
No.
no.
Okay. All right.
I mean, they
Um,
need one, but they don't need it that bad. There's other needs on that roster.
any thought? Nah, forget that. I still listen. I love A Chain or ATN or whatever we're calling him, but I love Jeremiah Love. I kind of shocked that that they they went ATN. Quite honestly, all right. I mean, in my time with the Chiefs, but I don't need the whole clock anyway. Um, I'm shocked, kind of shocked he's here. It's a need. Um, lot of smoke screens here about wide receiver. A lot of smoke screens about tight end. Um, by the way, that deal's only a 1-year deal, folks. With Kelsey,
Kelsey.
don't be fooled by all the hype there. That's a 1-year deal. Um, man. All that said, did I screw this up in New York? Did I say I was going Sadiq here? Did I get mad that I didn't go Sadiq? No, that okay. No, I'm going Ruben Bain. It's like he's a perfect fit. Um, Chiefs pass rush struggled last year. Only 35 sacks, 22nd in the league. He's going to immediately start up opposite Karlaftis. I like the pick there, so that's where I'm going.
Yeah, with the Bengals here at 10, Ruben Van I was eyeing because they definitely need pass rush help. But you kind of look at it when those two pass rushers are off the board. I mean, they can realistically live this next season. They have Miles Murphy. They signed Boye Mafe. They added Jonathan Allen. You hope Shamar Stewart takes a leap in his second year. Barrett Carter last year, linebacker out of Clemson, looked pretty good out of the fourth round. You hope Demetrius Knight, who was out of South Carolina last year, can develop a little bit more and show some more. So you kind of look at it now, and it's the secondary that kind of, is the glaring need. And Mansour Delane has fallen here to 10, which I realistically don't think happens on draft night. I think the Saints are a real possibility. I think the Chiefs are a real possibility. And with Caleb Downs gone, I think safety is a more immediate need for this Bengals team, but I have Delane ranked higher than Dylan Thieneman, the safety out of Oregon. So I think, Bengals go Delane here. They get a true shutdown corner, had really good speed at his pro day, can play man coverage, really fluid hips, understands routes, and this is a guy who Bengals fans realistically have just been begging for the past couple of years, a corner who can line up with the opposite team's number one and, give him some fits and give him trouble. So Delane's here at number 10.
Yeah, it's hard seeing him get past Washington, New Orleans, and Kansas City, but
It's
this is how the board fell.
I mean, do you see that happening on draft night? Do you see Delane slipping here for real?
I
I
don't think
clicked
so.
draft Delane. I don't know why it's not drafted him yet.
Yeah, it's taking a second.
Oh,
Okay.
I lost connection. Cool.
Oh, and it took okay.
That's perfect.
Fantastic.
It still says I'm picking for the Bengals. Thanks, PFF.
Oh, that's fun.
That is fun.
Yeah, since you disconnected.
I mean, guards are need for them too. I can make a case for Vega Iwane easily for them as well. Obviously, they need defense, but
And we can't go back and fix this, can we?
nope.
Let's just run with it.
Okay,
We'll
run with it.
I honestly, I could see it's probably not going to happen, but I mean, guard's a big need for them as well. So,
I mean, I think he could go higher than most people think he's going to go. So,
all right, so we're switching it up, and we'll go with Vega. There. All right. I'm looking at what's available. I can't get excited about Lemon yet. I do like Thieneman for sure, but I'm just I can't get away from this. I just can't. Man. Nope. Screw it. You're right. I'm going wide receiver here. If they hadn't traded Jalen Waddle, I would have gone Kenyon Sadiq here. That Waddle trade, bizarre to me. So I'm going wide receiver, and I'm going Mekhi Lemon here, wide receiver, USC. 79 receptions. Let's make the click here. Okay. Yep.
all right, good job. We got it done.
Thanks. Elite middle of the field receiver. Gonna fit in perfectly down there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Dallas and Delane somehow makes it to you at 12, you're doing some things I can't say on camera. But, I mean, he's the best cornerback in the draft. That's probably their biggest need outside of maybe pass rusher. But I don't think there's any pass rushers here worth that pick. I mean, Falk, maybe if you're high on him. I don't personally love athletic dudes that didn't perform in college as well because I've seen the Saints draft Peyton Turner and Marcus Davenport. So I think the obvious pick here is Mansour DeLink. I mean, they need a lockdown corner, and he is I mean, I'm a little biased. I went to LSU, but he's as good of a corner that's come through LSU in a long time. Like he's up there with Stingley in terms of like production, maybe not athleticism, talent, like man to man coverage, but like he did some things last year that no other corner in this draft did. So Delane's pretty easy pick here for me.
How tempted
Uh,
were you to go with him with the Saints? Just
Very
given,
like
yeah,
if David Bailey wasn't there, it would have been 50-50 between him and Ruben Bain.
nice, yeah.
So
With
we'll say he wasn't supposed to be there. He was supposed to go to the Bengals, but now everything's reset and
it's
we should be good.
yeah.
okay, so Cowboys go Delane.
Rams with number 13. Spencer Fano is the first name that jumps out to me, but then I kind of think back to what Les Snead has been as a GM, and it's been aggressive, right? He's been aggressive. He wants to make moves. He wants to make moves that are going to make splash additions, big plays on the field. And as much as I love Spencer Fano and the fact that he's still here, it really would entice the Rams. It's like I think they can live another year with Warren McClendon at the right tackle spot. Their interior offensive line is shored up. Um, and I look at it, and there are talks of Devontae Adams being moved. Puka Nakua checked himself into, rehab. Hopefully everything goes well, with that. But I look at the board, and Jordan Tyson's my number one overall receiver. The injury issues are there, yes. But if Devontae Adams and Puka Nakua are there next season, he's not going to have the stress of being a number one guy. He's not going to be asked to have, 100 receptions next year, get the ball every single play. He can kind of take a seat back. He has the versatility to line up inside or outside. He has elite separation ability. He can stretch the ball, stretch down the field vertically, high point the ball well, great after the catch. I mean, Tyson, Devontae Adams, and Puka Nakua would just give NFL defenses nightmares. So I'm going to take Jordan Tyson here.
Jordan Tyson is the
The
pick.
Rams are in such a good spot, man. They can do whatever the
I
hell they
know.
want, and it does not matter. Like they
Fano,
don't have to
Fano would
worry
be electric for them, but like I just look at it like Matthew Stafford's what, like how old? Like let's try to
about it.
maximize that window as much as we can.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I think that's really the trick here. It's all about maximizing Stafford at this point, giving him every weapon possible. Good pick there. Good pick there. Listen, Ravens. I'm on the clock with the Ravens. Um, Wide receiver, center, guard, linebackers. You see all the need. Fans say we should go wide receiver here, right? I'm
But who?
I what'd you say?
So, but who at this point?
Omar
Exactly.
Cooper.
Exactly. So yeah, no, I'm just not reaching that much at this point. I'm going I'm still gonna give I'm still gonna give Lamar Jackson a weapon here. But you know,
Oh, I love this.
Me too.
likely's gone. Likely's gone to free agency. Andrews entering, age 31. Uh Listen, that system regardless of is that system with Jackson is whoever's the OC is going to run best with a strong two tight end set. I can't, and I'm with Matt Miller here, by the way. I can't get past this. I can't let him slip it any further. I'm going Kenyon Sadiq here, tight end for the Ravens.
All right. Well, I'm on the clock with Tampa now. They've got a lot of needs. I know it says tight end. I don't think. I mean, they could take Sadiq, but they got Kate Otten back, so I think they feel decent about that. Edge is definitely a big need, but like I said, some people are higher on Falk and Parker and Messidor than I am. But with Jamel Dean leaving, I mean, cornerback is all of a sudden now that's a pretty big need. And Jermod McCoy is way better than the 15th pick. If he didn't tear his ACL last year and miss all of 2025 with that injury, he could be, I don't know, what, top 7, top 6 pick in this draft. He might even have been
Yeah.
above Delane. So McCoy can be a game changer at cornerback. So with Dean gone, I think he can slide into that defense pretty nice.
I haven't seen this yet, so that's definitely a
No,
Yeah, I don't think
that
he
is
usually gets that
and it
far.
worked and it fits too. It's it's not a bad pick either. So
Matt Miller's just had CJ Allen going there, so you know,
I mean,
That's what I
not
had in
that's
not
our
too
New York
shabby.
draft.
Yeah. All right, I'm on the clock with the Jets. Let me get the graphic up here. Bucks select another McCoy. McCoy. Okay. All right. Bucks select McCoy. Jets. I'm on the clock here. Not gonna build the drama here. I'm going Ty Simpson here. Uh, Geno Smith is not leading us to the promised land.
The
Uh,
carry.
yeah,
That was a wild statement.
wild. Uh, Everything that he's done has been wild. I really want to be a fan of Aaron Glenn, but I don't get it. I just don't get the public persona. You gotta have the next guy here, who, by the way, given Geno's trajectory, I truly feel that you're gonna see Ty Simpson starting by week 6. Um, I just think he's a perfect fit for on so many fronts. Uh, all of the tape versus trait stuff that I hear you. I just I can't I can't be thinking about 2027 here. I've got to go for now.
I don't want to
And
cut you off, but scroll
I'm
down because he's number 42, so you got to
I'm
do it
trying
quick.
to, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Boom. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Thank you.
about the exact
Thank
same
you for
thing
the
too.
help. Yeah, I went to the search bar. So
Yeah.
Jets
It's probably
select Ty
smarter.
Simpson. Vikings on
No,
the
Lions.
clock.
Or Lions,
Oh,
Lions,
excuse
Lions.
me, Lions on the clock. My bad.
So with the Lions here, edge and offensive tackle are two of the biggest needs and the most obvious needs for any NFL team coming into this draft. And I look at where the Lions select in this draft and just how this draft class overall has kind of shaped up. Edge, they need desperately someone across from Aiden Hutchinson, but I look in the second round and there are guys like Derek Moore, Gabe Yakis, that I really think fit this Detroit Lions team that they can probably target. So when I get to offensive tackle, Penei Sewell, there's already been talk about him moving to left. He did it in his rookie year. Um, and that opens up the door for plenty of prospects here. Spano, Freeling, Miller, Caden Proctor, like there, I think the Lions can take any of them, and I would defend it well. But I look at it, and I know that there's been a lot of talk about Spencer Fano's projection at the NFL level. He has shorter arms than Will Campbell, who came out last year. But I just look at the tape, the way he moves, the athlete that he is. I think that entering a Detroit Lions team that has a guy like Sewell who you can learn from and just kind of get comfortable playing that right tackle spot. Like Fano is a lot better than the 17th overall pick, and I just don't see a world where he falls into the 20s. So I think Spencer Fano, or I'm going to take Spencer Fano here with the 17th pick.
Nice.
All right. Well, this is another dream scenario for me. Just like with Dallas, I think Minnesota would. I mean, they might not even take 30 seconds off the clock and select Dylan Thieneman here. So, I mean, Harrison Smith, he's not getting any younger, and that dude's been the leader, just everything that they needed him to be on that defense. So, safety, not necessarily a premium position, but this year with this draft class with so many non-premium position players at the top of the board, positional value kind of goes out the window, at least in my opinion. So I have them literally sprinting up to the stage to hand the card in that says Dylan Thieneman because he is. I don't think that the gap between him and Caleb Downs is that big, and I think that there's a lot of people around the league. I don't got the sources Tony's got, but I don't think that I don't think that there a lot of teams have as big of a gap between Downs and Thieneman as a lot of people think. So easy pick here for me.
Listen, I can't disagree with you either. I'm a big fan as well. So good pick there. And like you said, we're looking at best player on the board. It's hard to look away there.
And it's a position in need, so it just fit perfectly.
Yeah.
All right, so what to do? What to do? I screwed up the Panthers' plan. Okay, the Panthers. Everybody says the Panthers want to go. Um,
Sadiq.
want to go Sadiq, right? Exactly. That's where everybody's wanting them to go. He's gone. He's gone on our board. There's not a wide receiver that
There are two names that jump out like
wide receiver.
instantly. That's Omar. I know, and Omar Cooper Jr. I don't know why he's not getting as much hype, but if there wasn't like a clear top three in this, like he's gonna go top 20. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes here to Carolina.
Yeah,
I
I'm with you to a certain extent, but I gotta go. I mean, I just gotta. I gotta be less sexy here. I gotta go with uh, a need. Um, I gotta go with what the local folks are telling me, and the Charlotte Observer folks especially are liking this guy, and know that this is a need. I am going, and somewhat of a local connection. I am going Monroe Freeling, tackle Georgia here. Um, they got to share it up. They got to share it up. They got to give um, they got to give their QB as much protection as possible, much help as possible. Help for the running backs. Um, Best available on the board situation here. I didn't expect him to fall this far, but I'm going Freeling.
All right. Well, I'm back up with Dallas. Obviously filled their cornerback need with Mansour Delane at 12. Even if it's not Delane, I think they'd take McCoy there. It's going to be cornerback and edge rusher in some form in the first two picks for them. So right now I'm looking at edge rusher, Akeem Messidor, Keldrick Falk, Cassius Howell. I'm not a big fan of him or Parker. And I know I talked a lot of crap about Falk, but there's a reason that guys like him go in the first round. He's got a ton of upside. He's an athletic freak. He's got the prototypical size, the prototypical arm length. He doesn't have the production. Like I said, I hate taking guys like this, but I mean, when you're Dallas, you have Rashawn Gary on the other end. I guess you can afford to take a little bit of a risk and have a dude that could end up being a perennial 12 plus sack a year guy. So, and I like Messidor better as a player right now, but again, he's 25. His second contract, he's going to be 30. So it's just, I think you go with the young guy that's got a lot of upside here if you're Dallas.
Kendrick Falk.
fair.
Nice pick.
Now we look at this Pittsburgh roster, and this is a player that I feel like just fits so well for this team. This team, on paper, honestly doesn't really have a lot of needs. Obviously, the quarterback position is a big discussion with Rodgers, but when you eliminate that, like Ty Simpson's already gone, so it's not really a option here. I look at Blake Miller, the tackle out of Clemson. Broderick Jones, they've been waiting years for him to, showcase something. And Troy Fautanu can move to left. And when you have a new regime with Mike McCarthy, players don't have the same kind of, I
Security.
guess, leash security to kind of keep, being the same version of themselves. And Broderick Jones hasn't showed it in the first couple of years throughout his career. I think Blake Miller is a player who's started, 3 years at Clemson, has over 3,500 snaps in college football, all at right tackle pretty much. So you look at it, you know what you're getting with him. He's a surefire right tackle. Strength is his biggest key or his biggest area of weakness that I saw within his tape, but his hands, his base, his movement look all solid and definitely can add a little bit of frame to or a little bit of size to his frame. But I think Blake Miller's the pick here. You shore up that offensive line, and if Rodgers is to come back, if you give Will Howard a shot, whatever they decide to do, the offensive line is pretty much shored up. So I'm gonna take Blake Miller here.
All right, let's say Simpson's still here. Do you take Simpson here?
I'm on the other side of I wouldn't take Simpson in the first round.
Okay,
I think he's going to end up in the 40s for me in my final big board.
fair enough.
All right. Chargers on the clock. Obviously, guard is a massive need for them. Oh, my cat's automatic feeder is going off at the perfect time. But yeah, so guard is a huge need, but I don't know. I mean, if Vega Ione was there, I would take him. This is tough because I don't think receiver is as big of a need as PFF makes it seem by saying it's their number one need. But also, Omar Cooper is just sitting there, and I agree with
I
Daniel.
was gonna say,
I think he's going to go a lot higher than people think. So I think I just have to do it, even though there's some other players that might fit better. I think I have to go with Cooper there.
God, it's like fantasy draft. The guy takes the guy right before you, right? I was
Omar
just, I was,
Cooper with Lad McConkey, man, like that's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Justin Herbert's gonna be in the MVP conversation. Let me tell you.
if he
I'm
has an
just,
offensive
Oh,
line,
that's true. Yeah.
he does
okay.
have the tackles coming back though.
All right. If Herbert is not in the conversation now, then I'm off Herbert for good. Okay. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going Omar Cooper with the Chargers. You stole my sexy pick, so I'm going kind of chalk because this is a need as well. Um, Another man's trash, one man's trash as another franchise's treasure. Howie Roseman is loving this guy. Jalen Phillips is gone from free agency. They got to prioritize a capable rusher early in this draft, and it's fallen into my lap. I did not expect, 20th ranked. Did not expect him to be here. I gotta go with needs. I gotta go with what I love. Older prospect. That's his problem to deal with in terms of his second contract. First contract. I love Akeem Mesidor. I'm going Akeem Mesidor edge from Miami here with the Eagles. Giddy up.
Real quick on Mesidor. I don't want to take up too much time of the next
Oh,
clock,
you're
but
good.
like, how many rookies like realistically make it to their second contract, anyways?
Correct.
And if you look at it, like you take Shamar Stewart, he's the perfect example. I'll make sure to select Mesidor. Mesidor, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I just want to,
Mesidor's
try to give you
already
as much time.
we know what he is coming into the NFL, so it's like he's not going to take as much time to develop. But if you take a guy like we talked about, Folk, it's going to take 2 3 years for him to be at his peak, and then his rookie contract's over. So it's kind of just like
That's
that's the
fair.
light I look at Mesidor, and like when you look at the Eagles, they're in win now, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I
Nice.
mean that's completely fair. Trust me, I did not enjoy taking Falk. That's just
And
their
I like
teams like
Folk,
guys like
I
that.
like Falk too, but it's like it really matters the situation for him, and I just don't think Dallas is that right situation.
That's a good point. I'll give you that. But all right, back on the clock with Cleveland. We talked earlier, if you were here on the live, about the Caden Proctor hype to Cleveland at number 6. I'm not buying into it, but I do believe that they really like him because I mean, there's lots to like about him. He's huge. He's got skills, but he is a little bit of a project, which obviously Cleveland can't really afford to have too many projects on their roster, but they don't have their quarterback in place now. So getting a guy like a tackle that you can coach up for a year and then maybe in year 2 or 3 he takes that big leap to being maybe a Pro Bowler or just a really solid tackle for a long time. I think they can afford to take that gamble a little bit, especially because Proctor, if he was more polished, he's a top 10 pick. He's got the frame, he's got everything you want in a tackle pretty much, except for just he's got to be coached up a little bit. I believe the hype to Cleveland is real. I don't think it'll happen at 6, but it's going to happen at 24 here.
Well, there you go, Kate. I mean, I, I,
Right.
I know you kind of shocked he fell to you.
A little bit, but I just think every tackle that was taken above him is more ready. Fano, Freeling, Maui Noah, like all of them are just they're more NFL ready. Like Proctor is a project. He's going to take a year or two.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Proctor. Oh, sorry. So I just want to hit
No,
on
I was just
Proctor
gonna
real
say
quick.
we're
Like
eating into your
his.
clock.
Oh, I already know who I'm picking. Don't
Okay,
worry.
good, good,
But
good.
yeah, for Proctor, it's like his feet were really good for me watching him for a guy who's like 6'7",
Yeah,
350.
he,
The
yeah, he
problem
moves well.
is, which I kept writing in my notes, is like, how are you three? He played at 370 throughout the season. He just gets pushed back and just loses leverage so often. There's technique, there's strength issues, but I think I like the upside there with him. Chicago, it's edge rusher here. It's that or safety. McNeil Warren, the safety out of Toledo, is a real possibility. But there's a player that I really love here for Chicago, and I'm gonna end up taking him. He's gonna end up as my fourth or fifth ranked edge rusher. And it's gonna be Zion Young, the edge rusher out of Missouri. Very, very big kid, 6'6", 250 pounds. Very good arm length. His power is just evident on tape. He needs to work on a little bit more of a pass rush plan. I think he got a little repetitive with his pass rushing skills. Just kind of, if he didn't get his hands on first, it was a little rough. But I think the power, the ability to stunt inside, the ability to keep his legs moving, he has a really good floor in the NFL, which is his run defense. And I think, that ceiling is just sky's the limit. And I think Chicago answers a really, really big area of need with Zion Young.
No D tackle consideration there.
No, not at all. I'm not as high. There's only one team in the first round that I would take Peter Woods at. And there's no other defensive tackle that I really, besides Christian Miller, I'm really high on. But Miller or Woods, I wouldn't take to Chicago.
Being down here, not high on a lot of Clemson. I'm a Clemson guy, and I'm just not high on a lot of Clemson guys this year. Period, especially Woods. So I'm there with you, and that's a great pick. I think, and I honestly think you're going to see Young keep rising. The talk is going to keep rising around Young the closer we get to the draft. As much as the Bears, 17. Somebody like the Bears hopes that they can keep the hype down, right?
Yeah.
What were you saying?
I said I almost took him at 17 to the Lions. Like, that was a debate in my head as it was loading up there. So, yeah.
All right, so I got the Bills here. And again, it's a need. Best case scenario, I wanted I wanted a wide receiver here. I wanted Omar Cooper to fall to me here. He didn't. And so I've got to go again. I got to go back to best player on the board of what's here right now. And it's going to be CJ Allen for needs, for just upside of this guy. I can't get away from him. I can't let him slip. I don't want him to slip to the Patriots, for instance. If I'm the Bills, so I'm going CJ Allen here.
Yeah, his run defense is crazy.
Run defense help.
Yeah.
All right.
What was that?
I was going to say, if it's not receiver, it's run defense help. So that's a great pick.
Absolutely.
This is actually my last pick because I was pretty front loaded with my team. So edge rusher is what everybody says is a need, but I mean, they got Nick Bosa, and everybody kind of forgets about Michael Williams. Like, he was a first round pick for a reason last year. I know he's coming off a torn ACL, which isn't ideal for anybody, but I mean, he's still a first round talent. They haven't seen anything from him. I mean, they obviously haven't practiced a little bit, but like, there's still some potential there. And I'm very low on a lot of these pass rushers, so I don't think I would take anybody this high. With what's his name? Trent Williams, sorry. His future in doubt, I mean, he's probably going to play there this year. Could retire next year, could walk next year. Tackle, I think, is probably their biggest need right now. And I might be butchering his last name, but I really like Max Ionanker. That's your Arizona State boy, Daniel.
Ionichor?
Say it again?
Arizona State. Ionichor?
Ionichor. There we go.
Oh, Ionichor.
You did butcher that. Holy cow.
Yeah, I was very confused.
Alum. I got you guys. Don't you worry.
Yeah, appreciate it. But yeah, he's a great pass projector. I mean, I think he's allowed 2 sacks in his entire college career. Run game could probably use a little bit of work, but I mean, a tackle, you're really hoping to get a really solid pass projector. So I'm going with however the hell Daniel said his name.
I love him, man. His athletic traits are off the charts. The fact that he's only been playing football for like 3-4 years because he grew up playing soccer and basketball, like, it's crazy. With the Texans here, offensive line's obviously been the position that's been talked about, but looking at the board here, they've filled in the needs well enough to wait. They've signed Braden Smith. They signed Wyatt Teller. Those aren't long-term answers, and I think they hit on Ariante Ursary last year in the draft. But I think they realistically could get a guard and interior offensive line help later. in this draft. And I kind of look at it. I mentioned earlier there's one team that I think Peter Woods fits on, and it's this team, the Texans. You have elite edge rushers in Will Anderson and Daniel Hunter. And then you kind of look at it like if there's a defensive coach in this league, D'Amico Ryans is the guy that I trust to kind of get Woods to that 2024 hype that everyone had. Because I watched his tape post 2024, and like I was ready to label this guy as a top 5 pick, like everyone else. The explosiveness up the field, the quick hands, the twitch, it was all there. Just for some reason this year, his hands weren't as electric. His base wasn't as strong as you like it to be. He showcased, the quick hands and twitch sometimes, but if he didn't win in the first 5 seconds of a rep or 2 seconds in a rep, like he was just going to get stonewalled realistically. And it was really hard to kind of watch it because I truly believed in Woods as a talent, but I think this is the one team in the first round where I think Peter Woods truly makes a lot of sense.
That whole defense disappointed too. So like I feel like you have to cut him a
Yeah,
little bit slack, but
a little bit of
also,
slack, but it was
it's not a
bad
great
tape.
look.
Yeah.
All right, it's the Tim show now.
All right, bye guys. I'll see you.
Yeah, it is. We'll see you in the second round. All right, Chiefs are back with me. I mean, listen, just making sure. Okay,
You took
just
Bane,
just making sure. Listen, I gotta go defensive back here. I gotta go. This pick fell to us because of the McDuffie deal. Jalen Watson's departed. I gotta go corner here. I'm kind of going between Hood and this other guy. I love the pedigree, younger brother of Falcons cornerback and AJ. 3 interceptions at Clemson, 4.4 yards per attempt when targeted. I was trying to not tip it too much in terms of not loving Clemson guys this year. I'm a little shocked you went Woods. Maybe you were throwing us off the scent there. I like it in terms of need for sure for the Texans. We're going back to back Clemson here. I'm going Avian Terrell here.
There's one team, as I mentioned, like I don't see what's being taken in the first round unless it's Houston. So that's just kind of where I'm at with him.
Yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
I mean, like you said, need and a lot of signs point that direction. So, and he's
because they
here, so
don't.
you got to take him.
They have Sheldon Rankins, and they have other defensive tackles who can play run defense, and he doesn't have to worry about that realistically. He can just come in on pass rush downs and do what he does best.
So this made it simple for me. Dolphins are going corner here as well, and Dolphins are pretty giddy that this guy has fallen to him. Dolphins were decimated in the secondary. The Fitzpatrick, Jones, Douglas, Kohu, all gone. Colton Hood's the fit here. I think I'm gonna go ahead. What was that look? Was that I wanted to start?
That's my pick at 32.
Oh no, it isn't. No, it isn't. All right, I
God,
did.
this is a fantasy draft,
Yeah,
man. This is a fantasy draft. This is
I know.
terrible.
I didn't screw it up. All right, yeah. So I'm going Colton Hood here.
Well, you
Let's
did
make
screw up
sure
the
we
graphic.
click that. What'd you say?
But you did screw up the graphic right after you
Screw
said
up
you
the
didn't screw it up.
graphic.
Easy cheesy. Boom. We'll make sure that's up there. Yeah, I got to do it. And screwing you up, that's bonus.
Okay.
Patriots. Tell you what. I just hate I really hope I'm not jinxing this by keeping going back to the well here. Because I fell in love with the guy. I'm sorry. I I hate to be that. Um, oh man. Did not expect Denzel Boston to still be here. Uh, I really I really love him here. Um, wow. This is one that if this happens, okay, and McNeil Warren are sitting, like, we're talking best players on the board. If Howell, McNeil Warren, uh
Yeah.
Parker are all sitting here, Boston is still sitting here, Concepcion sitting here. There's going to be this pick's going to go to the wire for the Patriots. Uh, but I can't quit this guy. I fell in love interviewing him. I was already in love watching him. Patricia groomed him for us. I'm going Caden McDonald here at Patriots first round pick.
I love Caden McDonald. I don't know how much of a need defensive tackle really is for them, but I mean, this guy's going to be a starter in the league for 15, 10 years, however long his body can hold up, because he is an elite run stuffer. Um, and you kind of hit on it, like TJ, like Emmanuel McNeil Warren, TJ Parker, Boston are all guys that I don't even. It's hard, man, seeing them here this late. Like Parker is a guy who I think is just a variable guy, like just with how he plays and being able to set the edge with his arms. So I think Parker would be a really hard guy for them to skip over there.
Agreed.
But here at 32, running back is a real need here, but I don't like Jadarian Price here at 32. They need edge rusher, and Parker's a real option here. Linebacker's also a sneaky need, but they just paid Drake Thomas, and I think they like him a lot, so I think they're going to roll with him. With the loss of Rick Woolen to the Eagles, I'm going to go my next corner on my board, which is Brendan Cisse, the corner out of South Carolina. 5'11", 189, ran a 4.4 at the combine. His traits, his athletic traits really jumped off the screen to me when I was watching him. Had really fluid hips, was able to go contest balls up in the air. Just a lot of technical issues with him as a corner in terms of being able to flip his hips on the inside, flip his hips to the outside, be able to squeeze down on routes when you'd really like him to. But there's no better place to go than Seattle to kind of get all that fixed. And he doesn't have to necessarily see the field right away. They did sign Josh Jobe to another extension. They have Witherspoon, obviously, still. And they have guys they can roll out there. But to help that room kind of along and give them some depth and give them a competent starter, I'm going to go Cisse here out of South Carolina.
You know, there's just a lot of hate going towards Cisse. I love him. I mean, again, guy
Yeah,
in my backyard that I've been watching. Um, I see the negatives for sure. I'm not arguing with the negatives. I just see so much upside there that I can't get away from it.
it's there for sure. And like I said, it's Mike McDonald. Like what? That's legit the perfect place you can go to learn how to play cornerback in the NFL. So I think Colin Hood's a better fit for them, but obviously if he's not there, I think Cisse is the next guy up.
So it is done. It is done, and PFS got our ratings on the board, but let's go to the results here. Where was the first shock here for you guys?
Well,
Can you scroll down?
if we eliminate the mishap with
Yes.
Iwane,
Yeah.
as my internet decided, it doesn't like us.
I mean,
I would say Ty Simpson. I would say Ty Simpson for me. That's like the first major shock.
See, the thing, like, it's surprising to me that Bailey got to 8, but I wouldn't be surprised I'm not surprised at all by any of the picks.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
I
the
think
thing,
Bailey's
is
going to
like
go second, but
like with Bailey and Ruben Bain, Ruben Bain's my edge one in this class. but like, and I know realistically he's not going to go before Bailey just because of how the NFL is. Like, as much as like we've talked about how elite these guys are, like them getting selected at 8 and 9, like I'd take that bet on draft night because if you look at the picks we made, like Downs, Tate, Styles, like they all make sense to where they got picked. So it's just kind of like it's hard to really call it like a surprise, but like I get what you're saying. Like Bailey's been talked
Yeah.
about to go early, and it's just there's a world where he
Well,
just slips if the Jets go later.
it's
What do you
really
think of
up to.
Downs at 5? What do you think of I mean,
I think that's
obviously
good.
high ranked in
Yeah,
on Tony's big board, on everybody's big board, but not a whole lot of talk about Downs at 5 right now.
I honestly think it's just prospect fatigue, realistically, and I hate to use that word because he's been dominant since a freshman at Alabama. We've been talking about this kid for three straight years. Like I looked back and he was giving Brock Bowers some fits at Georgia in his freshman year. Like Brock Bowers, the I mean he's been one of the best tight end prospects we've seen in the past couple of years, and the fact that he was able to kind of give him trouble in his freshman season, like that's just the type of player that he is. His eyes are so disciplined. His IQ is there. He can cover on the back end. He can come fill the run. I think just the biggest thing that why people are kind of I think people are just kind of getting bored. He's not a guy who's 6'3" like Emmanuel McNeil Warren. He's not a guy who's going to run a 4.3 like Dylan Thieneman. And that's just kind of the reality. People just get bored and they're just going to you know, kind of talk prospects down because that's how long this draft prospect is. But I think Downs is my second player. It sucks, but he was my first player for a long time. But I just fell too much in love with Jeremiah Love, and Love is 1 for me right now, and then Downs is 2.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I can't get away from Love there at all. I like that pick for sure. You know, regarding Simpson, um, boy, Bucky Brooks had had him at 3 with the Cardinals.
Wait, I didn't see that mock.
Yeah, it's
I think it
crazy.
was Charles Davis. That's the one I saw.
Was it Charles?
Charles
I
Davis.
thought Bucky Brooks did too. No.
Yeah, because you
Okay,
said that, and then I looked it up, and it was Charles Davis.
was it Charles Davis? Okay, that makes more sense to me. Okay,
Yeah, I know.
I had Brooks in my head. So sorry,
Yeah,
Bucky.
he also had Dart going number 3 last year or something like that. So
Got it. Yeah, get yourself a little closer to the camera here. There you go, Luke. Thank you. No, a little closer. Serious. I'm serious. Yeah.
I thought you were joking because I
too,
bent
too much
over to
room.
pick something up.
Too much room in the background. Yeah, I'm of the camp, right? I'm of the camp. I'm not in the Dan Orlovsky camp. I'm more in the weight camp. I'm more in the Field Yates, Matt Miller sort of camp in terms, and the Daniel Rios camp when it comes to Simpson. I just listen. He's going to get taken. I do believe that uh, the NFL will not. The hype around quarterback, the NFL, they just will not allow a first round without 2 picks. Somebody's going to get antsy. Somebody is going to feel like it's a now situation, whether it's the Cardinals, whether it's the Jets, whether it's the Steelers. Somebody is going to get antsy on Simpson. I don't like it. I just, history tells me it's going to be so.
I just don't know if he
And
goes that early. And I think the Jets are very content with waiting till next year.
Do you
and
I just
though?
don't think you bring in Geno Smith. I
Like
mean,
how many times can you wait till next year?
well,
That's
yeah,
what I
but like this,
that's
if there's
the
any
only
year to do that,
part.
it's this year.
Yeah, I mean that's the only part of this whole discussion that I do buy, right? I buy the idea. We all thought this year was going to be crazy loaded on quarterback, and it's not, right? Everything that we thought was going to happen went to crap. So it all lines up for 2027. What if that all goes to crap? So get a guy. I do at least buy the argument of get a guy now and don't bet on later. So if these teams, I have not, I will say this. Um, I you know I'm not Tony Pauline. I'm not Matt Miller. I'm not I'm not Rappaport or Pelissero or any of them. But I do talk to a lot of scouts. I do talk to a lot of guys around the league, and absolutely, positively, there is not a team that has Simpson as a first round grade. Right? It's just not there. It's simply a matter of uh, not getting beat by the Joneses, not getting beat by your neighbor here, and not being the one that passes on the QB2 in this first round. That's the only reason I think that one of these slots Simpson is going to get picked.
Yeah. Just if I'm the Jets, I would rather sign Geno Smith, spend my two first round picks on positions to fill out my roster, and take Nussmeyer or Klubnik or Aller or somebody like that in the third round.
Yep.
Start Smith, maybe let the other one come in for the second half of the year, and then they're suck. Draft one first round 2027 when you have a top 5 pick. That's
It's a
just
great
my
point,
And
and it's, the guys that we haven't talked about, right? Yeah, I love Nussmeyer, and not I love that he's fallen. I love the redemption story around him. Um, so yeah, that does make a lot of sense logically, right? Like logic but boy, just having been in war rooms and having seen how it's not that different. It really is not that different, folks, than a fantasy football draft room, okay? Except that there's 20 to 25 people in the room and $1 billion owner. That's so but there's this sort of herd mentality, and there's this pressure to not get it wrong that I just feel is going to seep. It always seeps in. It always seeps in, and the
I could
quarterback
make the case
always
that
goes
there's
too
more
high.
pressure of getting. If you're saying like the pressure of not getting it wrong, I think there's more pressure of drafting Simpson and being worried that you're going to get it wrong. Like it's more risky to take him and bet on him being good than not taking him and betting on him being bad, or not bad, even just like below average.
And see,
yeah,
that's the trick to this, right? Is because I can't argue with you. I'm not arguing with you. I'm really not. I'm just saying history tells me this is a paranoid league and a paranoid set of GMs. Somebody is going to reach here.
Yeah, he's going to go in the
Yeah,
first. I just
yeah.
think it'll be the end of the 20s.
End of the
yeah,
20s.
and
So who
I'm
takes him?
I'm I was
Either a
gonna
trade
say
up
I'm
or
glad. I was gonna say I'm glad you hit on it though, real quick, because I was gonna just mention that back half of the first round of you don't want to wait because, and I get I'm not as I think 16 is a little too rich for me, but you mentioned it perfectly. Coming into this year, it was, oh, Arch Manning's coming next year. Oh, Garrett Nussmeyer. Oh, Drew Aller. Oh, Cade Klubnik was a big
Yeah,
name.
oh sure, yeah.
Lenore
Not here,
Sellers
by
was
the way,
also a
but yeah.
name. Like there were names, and you go back and you go throughout the season, and none of them really lived up to what they were supposed to be. Now I know injuries, I know coach firings, I know a lot of things play into that, but that's just the reality of how the season went out. So I understand the point of let's not wait because we don't know what next year will be, and I know 2027 is loaded, and I know we all say that, but I generally do think it is. But if you're the Jets, you can't take that gamble.
Yeah.
You can't. You have to go get your guy. And if I'm the Jets, I pick at 16, I pick at 2, I fill out this roster, and much like the Cardinals, you have 33, you have 44. Use those second round picks, get a team to come back into the first round, because the 33rd pick to these teams in the 20s, back half of 25, 20, it's essentially a first round pick. Like you look at it in that essence, you're just not getting that 50-year option.
yeah,
So I look at the Cardinals, I look at the Jets. You have those early second round picks. Go make a move, get back into the first round, and do what the Giants did last year. Because
yeah,
2027, while I am so much higher on this class, I believe Arch Manning would have been the first pick in this year's draft class. I was a big Dante Moore believer this entire season. I had him ahead of Fernando Mendoza this entire season until the eventual back half of the season where you saw that he wasn't you know capable of going to the NFL. I watched, Brendan Sorsby's tape because I thought he was going to come out this year. I generally believe he would have been a first round pick too. You look at Simpson, you don't want to bet on the outliers because he only has 15 starts. He's 6'1". He got injured in his first full year of starting at the college level. But like you hit on, Tim, like this is the NFL. Like teams get antsy. Teams need quarterbacks. You need to sell tickets. Are
Yep.
you going to sell tickets with Geno Smith at the helm or Ty Simpson in week 7 or 8? That's just the reality, and I think it would make a lot more sense for a team to trade up back in round 1 rather than taking him at 16, or even if the Cardinals somehow decided to at 3, which I think would be
Yeah, I think
impossible.
if
And
the Jets
here's
do
the other
it,
factor, Luke. Here's the other factor. To me, you're going to need somebody ready sooner. I'm not Geno Smith in the promised land in New York City. Like you want to talk about Sam
Promised Land is
Donald
the number one
ghosts?
pick.
You want to talk about Sam Donald ghosts? There's Geno Smith ghosts. I still don't. I combine that with the fact that I honestly think Geno Smith, the tape to me showed a lot of decline, and I just don't. I think between him, whether he gets hit, whether he just stinks up the joint in the first few games, they are going to. New York fans are they're out of patience, and they're going to be immediately clamoring for the next guy. Geno Smith
all right,
is not going to be the guy. And you know what? Nobody's rooting for it more than I am, right? Because I think he got the shaft in I think the end of it, he got the shaft in Seattle. I think certainly got the shaft to a large part of his own doing, but he shafted in Vegas as well. So I'd love to see a second redemption story for Smith. I just don't see it happening.
see, just to play devil's advocate some more. If I'm a Jets fan, I am way more excited about Arvell Reese at number 2, and Jordan Tyson or Mekhi Lemon or Omar Cooper at 16, and then Nussmeyer at 30. What is it, 34 that they have?
Okay, but yeah,
33 and
33.
44.
Then I am
33.
with Arvell Reese, Ty Simpson, and then like Casey Concepcion or something
Okay,
like
but
that.
so
Like I
in our mock, for instance, though, right? The sexy picks were largely gone, other than maybe they go Omar Cooper, right?
yeah,
But where would you have gone if you don't go Simpson there?
probably Cooper, or I mean, I think uh, Ione or the Penn State guard would probably be there. Like I think he probably would have still been on the board if he weren't accidentally drafted by your Wi-Fi conking out. I would take both of those guys over Simpson in a heartbeat. And I mean, I
Yes.
think Tyson or Lemon probably gets to 16 as well.
Well, I look at it too with the Geno Smith thing, and I'm not here to say that a lot of it was his fault, but as someone who watched every single Raiders game last year, the entire thing was just screwed up from the beginning in
Yeah.
terms of offensive line, in terms of Chip Kelly, in terms of Pete Carroll. I think it would have been hard for any quarterback to truly succeed in that offense. And when I look at the Jets offense, their offensive line is definitely shored up. You have a guy like Garrett Wilson, you have Brees Hall, you have more weapons, and if you get, Tyson Lemon or Cooper Jr., like that offense looks a lot better to where I do think he's going to look better in 26. Now, how good? We don't know because I do think a lot of those interceptions were on him. But a lot of it was just the Raiders. Like I watched that offensive line tape after every single game, and I think I was genuinely laughing. Like it did not look like a $1 billion organization. It was laughable. It was not good, and and I don't and believe me, a lot of it was on Geno, but I think he deserves some grace in the fact of it was just hard for anyone to succeed in that offense
Sure.
last year. I mean, look at
I mean,
Genty. Like, look at the Genty.
are you
I was
any
just gonna
more
say, look at the
excited?
Genty numbers.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Are you any more excited now now that the crap show there with like you said with Carroll, which was never the right hire. Chip Kelly, come on, come on, come on. Like it just but I mean even beyond that, it's like the sheer organizational. I mean, is that all Carroll? Just the sheer
It really
organizational
was,
snooze?
and obviously, just from the outside looking in, like I'm not a big shot. Don't got my sources inside the Vegas building, but if the way looking at it is the reports came out, if he wasn't starting the rookies that they drafted last year, in terms of Jack Besh, they drafted Caleb Rogers, they drafted Charles Grant in the third round last year. And you kind of look at the Raiders' offensive line this year, it's pretty much the same. You add Linderbaum, you lose John Simpson to free agency, or Dylan Parham, sorry, Dylan Parham in free agency. But you look at it, Caleb Rogers played fine at right guard the back half of the season. He played against the Broncos in week 16 or 17, I forgot exactly. He gave up 0 pressures against the Broncos defensive line, and we know last year was absolutely loaded. So you come into next year, you have Colton Miller, left tackle or left guard's kind of up in the air right now. Maybe it's Powers Johnson. You have Linderbaum. I hope they give Caleb Rogers a shot. Right tackle is the one thing where you've given DJ Glaze 2 years, but like, come on, like let's get some competition in there. Maybe it's Charles Grant. But I look at it, and despite it being majority of the same guys, like I'm already a lot higher on it. Just the fact that Clint Kubiak's running the show now. Spytech
Yep.
brought in quality rookie talent last year, and they just didn't see the field. It's just the harsh truth. Like they didn't see the field. No one knows why besides Pete Carroll. He said multiple and multiple times he's trying to win football games, and he didn't believe that those players would win those football games because he thought that team was a playoff team. Like that was just his assessment of it. And was it the right assessment? Clearly not. But I mean, when you're a coach, like you got to stand on what you believe in. So, that's just how it went down. And I look at it and I'm higher on the team just based on the fact that Carroll's not running it. And now they're going to let players that deserve to see playing time last year, like Besh, like Rogers, and hopefully Grant gets some run in the preseason. We'll see how far along he is because he is the definition of a project. But we'll have to see how it goes this year.
Luke, the one pick that you didn't make that you love the most.
Oh, the one pick that I didn't make. Ooh, let me look. I mean, I really love the Caleb Downs to the Giants. I love Caleb Downs to anywhere because that dude's just a dog. I made the Thieneman pick actually.
All right, so we'll go with that. We'll go with Downs. We'll go with Downs. Listen, I love Sonny Styles to the Commanders. I think that's a great spot, and this idea that this guy keeps falling. I mean, come on, again, tape don't lie, guys. And
Terrell to the Chiefs. I love that pick. I think he should go higher than 29 or 20. Yeah, 29.
Do you think he will? I mean, we're gonna get a corner run there in the middle of the draft, maybe, or
let me go back and look at the draft order because I don't think there's many teams in like the mid 20. Like, I mean, he could go to Dallas at 20 if they go edge first. Like, if Ruben Bain somehow makes it there, but after that, like, I don't really know if there's many teams in the 20s that would take a corner before the Chiefs at 29. That's my only concern about that.
How about you, Daniel? Favorite pick you didn't make?
I would say C.J. Allen to the Bills. I think you just look at his floor as a run defender, and it's just there. Like he is A+ run defender. Pass coverage can use a little work, but he was the green dot of the Kirby Smart defense in college, and it's clear on tape. And if you're the leader of a Kirby Smart defense in college, like you got the intangibles to make it work in the NFL. So I think that just helps out the Bills defense tremendously.
And you just nailed that, right? Like that is kind of the green dot was actually in my head to talk about. It's just the clock was and I was trying to get trying to get graphics, and you nailed it. You nailed it. You gonna be the green dot in the Smart defense. I want you. Period. And I don't see him dropping that. I don't see him dropping that low. I really hope he doesn't. But boy, if I'm the Bills, giddy up. I was very, very shocked to see that there and couldn't get away from it. We talked about Simpson already. Obviously, the computer had other issues for you at 10. Any absolute crackhead non-fit for you, Luke?
Oh, I mean, the quarterback at 16.
What we already talked about that. Put on your listening ears, Luke. Non-Simpson. any other crackhead pick that you're just like, nah,
I don't
nah,
think that
nah.
there was really any. I was, I guess, surprised Blake Miller went as high as he did with Proctor and Nine Anchor, or sorry, however you pronounce it there. But I don't think that anything was
Give it to us again,
outrageously like
Daniel.
that.
Ionichor.
Ionichor.
Ionichur. All right, that's good
Ionichor.
to know.
I can
Ionichor.
even
Yeah,
maybe I'm
Just
butchering it. Who knows? Like,
no. You got the best access. I will tell you, having been in the neighborhood here, it's Woods, Peter Woods. Just I know
thank
that's
oh,
you
is
for
it?
hard,
that.
but yeah, okay,
Oh,
fair
thank
enough.
you. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
you're good. You're good.
I guess also I don't know if Miami takes a receiver at 11. I think that they might go defense there to please their new head coach. But I don't think it's a bad fit at all. Like I would love Mekhi Lemon if I was a Dolphins fan there.
I don't disagree with you. I just feel like given the need and
No,
and
yeah,
just
I think they
the
should take a
idiocy
receiver.
to me, idiocy. Sorry, idiocy. That you not just that you traded him, you trade him to the Broncos? Are you serious?
I like the move personally for Miami, just because what is he, 28, 27? He's going to want a new
26.
contract in 2 years. Your team's not going to be ready for at least 3 to 4. You get a first round pick, a third round. They got first, third, and a fifth or something
Fourth,
like.
fourth,
I
sorry.
look at it. Yeah, fourth. I look at it. It's just like I think it's worth it. You're a rebuilding team. Like they're not tanking this season, but they're tanking this season. Like, just look at the dead cap, $175
Yeah,
million
no.
dollars in dead
Yep.
cap. They're essentially just throwing away this year. And what's the point of just wasting? Like, I just don't see a point in having him on the roster because yeah, he elevates Malik Willis a little bit, but like, what is it really going to matter in 3 years when he's 30 years old and looking for $30 million, with how the receiver market is?
And
It's
that's kind of
true.
why I think they might not get a receiver there too, just because they're not a receiver away. I think that they could fill another need on defense, like a corner. Maybe if down somehow slips, even offensive line. Like there's just more foundational pieces that they could add there than a receiver. It's kind of my
Okay,
thought
you
process.
say tanking, but do you really feel they're gonna throw Willis to the
Well,
Wolves that
I'm not.
much?
I'm not saying like tanking, but like they're essentially just kind of like understanding that this season isn't going to be the season, and they're just kind of seeing what Willis has. Because I wrote about it in one of the articles. Like, if he plays good with a terrible situation, then you have your guy of the future. If he shows flashes, then that's going to be a harder conversation. But if he's just straight up bad, then it's like, okay, we know he's not the guy of the future. We get a quarterback next year, and he's our bridge quarterback. So that's just kind of because the deal's not bad. It's not a like heavy
He's getting
pay.
Kirk
Like it's
Cousins
not a
money, right? Like
No,
20
pretty
million.
much. It's not
yeah,
an
no,
expensive contract at all.
25 maybe. Yeah, I don't,
Something like that.
I just don't like. I can't imagine Willis would have gone there, even with the guys. It all set up the Packers guys in there, and they love him, and I can't imagine he would go in there knowing without some sort of just guarantees or really believing that they're not going to just hang him out to dry this year.
Yeah,
Um,
but I just
you
don't
got to
understand
give
that.
him something to show something,
Yeah, I don't get his
and
decision to go there in the first place.
I
Like
don't either.
Arizona was 10 times better. I know he had his little Packers connections, but Arizona was such a better option.
In terms of the fit,
I don't know what the money
absolutely.
they were offering him was. It could have been 5 million lower, and then I get it. But it's like
Yep,
The
agreed.
whole
I
the
just
whole
I
decision
didn't think it
is
was a great
is
fit.
it's confusing for sure. I just kind of look at it like the Dolphins have a lot of picks in the mid rounds, and this receiver class is pretty deep. So
Yeah,
I mean, I'm high on guys like Skylar Bell out of UConn, Bryce Lance out of North Dakota State, like smaller schools, but I mean these guys have traits that can easily translate into the NFL. So I look at it, and Lemon kind of surprised me because Halfley did talk about trenches. Like if Fano or Maunoa is there, like I feel like it's hard for them to pass because that
Yep,
offensive line is. I just I think it would benefit Willis more to have a line to where he can actually stand there for more than a second than you know. And I know having Jalen Tolbert and Tutu Atwell right now as your top two receivers is also not the best, but like I just think I'm always a trenches guy at first. I believe
yeah.
in the trenches like any NFL coach or
agreed.
GM believes in
Absolutely.
So
All right. So, is there any guy that you don't see on our board here that you're like, no, he slipped in our draft. He's not slipping in for real. Any guy that was not picked that's for you is going to be in this first round.
I kind of
For
lean.
me,
Oh, you go.
oh, you
You
go,
go.
Dan.
Okay. I was gonna say Emmanuel McNeil Warren.
Yeah.
I feel like the safety out of Toledo.
Yep.
I watched his tape. He's actually my safety four. I have AJ Halsey above him. But like in terms of just
Yeah.
thinking how the NFL works, like 6'3", 200 and whatever pounds, like over 32 inch arms, I think he has, or 33, something around there. I have it written down, but like he's just everywhere. And there's some tackling issues, there's some angle issues, but I look at when he's coming downhill and making hits, it's just like just another freak in the back end of your defense. That I mean, there's a lot of them this year, and we saw it last year with Eamon Wari out of Seattle. I think teams are gonna. Eamon Wari had tackling issues coming out of South Carolina, so I think teams are just gonna kind of see what happened this year with him and the versatility it gives your defense, and they're just gonna say whatever. Like let's get him with our defensive coordinator. Let's get him on the field, and we can run nickel the entire game and be able to stop the run, which is just you know a superpower.
Luke, any guy that drops for you?
That was my pick. I mean, I agree completely, like with literally everything that you said. Because
Yeah.
yeah, like I like that you brought up Nick Eamon because I think Kyle Hamilton, the last couple of years are kind of like making defenses be like, all right, maybe safety. It's not edge rusher premium, but it's more important than a lot of people give it credit for. And I think with Downs, Thieneman, McNeil Warren, and even Halsey, like Halsey's not going to go in the first round, but like those guys can be, they can change a defense.
AJ Halsey, man, like
I
I
loved
knew you
watching
like
him.
his ball skills and his like he's electric playing coverage, but then he just flies downhill and just like throws his body at people. It's so fun to watch. Like, yeah, he's not going to go
He's really
before
stuck on.
Warren, but like I would take him before Warren. But that's why I'm sitting here. So
Let me go through the big board and let's see if there's anybody that I'm
I see
forgetting.
four wide receivers, right? Four wide receivers off the board. To me, I do feel like Boston is going to continue getting more and more hyped up as we get closer to the draft. He may.
Pregnon,
What'd you say?
like Emmanuel Pregnon from Oregon. I think
Yeah,
he could sneak into
Pregnon
that first round.
for sure.
he could sneak. It's a little rich for me, but like a team like
Yeah,
the Chargers, if Iwane's
and
gone, like
Basantis too.
I could see
Chase
it.
Basantis.
Santos too, yeah. I was gonna mention Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
dude, I love Jacob
I
Rodriguez.
What
I love
happened?
him.
What
He's
happened?
not
Well, his
big. He's
only
small.
he's a little bit smaller, which I really don't care about. But
Yeah,
his his biggest knock was athleticism, and then he went out to the combine and proved that oh yeah, I can run fast. Shocker, everyone. And like I think to the Bills, if CJ Allen is gone, like that's a real possibility. Um, I'm trying to think who else would realistically take him because he's going to be back half of round one. Maybe the Seahawks. I mentioned that I think they'll stick with Drake Thomas, but they do need another backer. Um,
I mean,
like
I
I
think
think he's a perfect
sneaky
fit.
like Kansas City. Nick Bolton is not the answer at linebacker. Unless did they sign anybody? I'm forgetting
I
at
can look right
linebacker
now.
because Nick Bolton.
I can.
I mean, they gave him that big contract, and he's
Yeah.
not very good. I know Chiefs
No,
fans don't like.
they signed. No, they didn't sign anyone crazy. They lost Chanel too.
Mm-hmm.
So Chanel, however you say his name.
I really
TJ
like Anthony
Parker. TJ Parker is another guy.
Yeah.
He is the highest guy on Tony's big board, for instance, right now, not selected in our first round.
Yeah.
Tony's got
crazy
him
'cause he
as
could go
his
like 50.
13th highest guy right now in his on his big board.
13th.
Yep.
I'm a Parker fan. 13's a little high for me, but I mean, I look at what works in the NFL and it's power. You got to have power, and it works more than speed around the edge. And Parker has power. I mean, everyone look up his rep in the Senior Bowl where he basically just throws the tackle off of him. Like,
yeah,
that's electric stuff, and he's able to set the edge in the run game, and that's an art that I feel like fans don't value enough is being able to really get your feet in the dirt, put your arm in a tackle, and just set that edge. And he can do it, and so a big reason why I'm high on him. That's a big
What
reason why I'm
about
high on Falk too.
sure? What about guys like Brazil with Tennessee, with
With
Concepcion
Brazel,
from
yeah,
A&M? I mean,
I would
two
take
more
Brazel over
guys,
Concepcion and Boston.
really.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, he's
fair.
got
I mean,
size,
I
he's
can see
got
why.
speed, he's he kind of has all the tools you really want. It's the Tennessee receiver thing that's making people so scared of him, I think.
Yeah.
I can see why. Um, I'm just a little bit higher on like guys like Bernard Concepcion. However, so I always mess it up. Chris Bell is another guy. I know he tore his
Chris
I
ACL,
like,
Bell.
which
yeah,
Yep.
I really like
that
Chris Bell. I
really
went to St.
sucks. Like
Stephen at 42.
if he didn't tear his ACL, like he's that fourth or fifth guy we're talking about in the first round here.
Yeah,
How did
I can see
Cassius?
Brazil.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, what?
No, go ahead. We'll stay
I
on
was
the
just
wide
gonna say like
receivers. Yeah.
I can see Brazil being picked in early in the second round, but I would expect him to get picked later in the second. And I think it
is it
is a little bit
Brazil?
of just scouting. I think it's Brazil. I know it's
I
the
thought it was
second,
Brazel.
however or maybe it's Brazil.
I don't know. Sorry.
That's one I don't know. But I mean, his speed, his ability to just contested catches, he has really fluid hips. I don't know. Maybe it's me just getting blinded by the helmet a little bit, which I know you're not supposed to do, but I'm a little bit higher on how other players' games translate to the NFL level.
The other guy in Tony's top 25, not picked here, Cassius Howe.
So, yeah, I mean, he was a good player in college, but his big thing again is like Baines with the arm length. He's literally has what I think was the shortest arms ever recorded for a defensive end at the combine. Like you're counting on him being a complete outlier, like completely different than anybody else that's ever came in with his arm length. Like Baines are short, but they're not
He
his short.
he had 30 and 1/4 arm length, which is 0th percentile for edge
Yeah,
rushers.
like you're literally
And
counting on him being a complete outlier.
I think the biggest thing for that is yeah, he's fast. He ran a 4.59 40. But like you just look at his weight, like he's 253 and you watch his tape and it's based on speed a lot. And like I just mentioned, like the reason I'm higher on Bane is because he's a proven problem solver and his base of his game is power. With how it's more, I gotta win around the edge with speed, and if I don't, it's pretty much over. And he's not a really good run defender. I like him in more of like a 3-4 scheme of playing outside linebacker because he basically did that at Texas A&M. Like I think you can find some packages where he's off the edge on just rush on pass rush downs, but I think it's the same reason why Romello Height's falling, and he's another guy who was really successful for Texas Tech. Is he's another smaller guy who didn't play the run as well. So that's kind of where I'm at that, where I look at Bain and literally can just hold back tackles, and his bend is. I mean, we've seen the pro day videos; like it's just
Oh
crazy
yeah.
the way he can get
Yeah.
down to the ground.
All right, gentlemen. First mock draft live episode in the books. Final thoughts before we let you go. I know Daniel's got to get their haircut. Luke's got to feed his cat. I got to take my son to basketball training. Any final thoughts?
Well, one, I think that my responsibility is probably the most important of the three.
Yeah, no, it's
But
fair enough.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
Although,
mean, he's
I don't
what
even know why Daniel's cutting that hair. That's like magical locks right there. Why would you
It's
even get a
it's a
haircut at this
little it's
point?
a little long on the sides. It
Fair
kind of gets
enough.
annoying. You got to
a
get
little
it
long.
tamed a
Dude,
little
look
bit.
at mine.
I will
It's
tell
because
you.
it's because
I will
we
tell you.
got drafted.
Our company has amazing hair. So you two have, even though you are not, you know, native Indian in terms of in terms of our company per se. Uh, you both have amazing hair game. So well done on that. Any final like football thoughts before we let you go?
What is football? No. I mean, it's the best time of the year for me. I love covering this event. To me, and this I don't know if it's a hot take. This is my favorite sporting event of the entire year. It's when you grow up around it. and I'm a Raider fan. Like, there's a certain excitement with your team always picking in the top five and
Yeah, I
top
was gonna
10.
say with your team always sucking.
You get excited, and it's just I love it, man. I love the discourse. I love the rumors. I love the discussions because we can hop on here and talk for 2 hours, and we may have separate opinions, but everyone's titled to those because everyone's right at the end of the day because we don't know anything and how these picks are going to turn out. So I'm excited for these next 3 weeks, and this is the prime time of the year.
Which, by the way, Daniel nailed it in terms of like just the giddiness and you know, we talk so much just as we're formulating our coverage plan for the draft of just how one pick can change a fandom, can change a generation, can change the entire outlook of a team, a fan base. And so that's what I mean, it's eternal hope right now, right? I mean, this is, and congratulations, NFL. It worked on Daniel. This is exactly what you want, right? This is
Well,
what
it's
Daniel
really like
said
the
is
only
exactly what you're looking for.
yeah, it's really like the
I
only
mean,
time
yeah,
all year that every team can be excited.
Yeah.
yeah. You look at it like Raider fans are pumped right now. Like, there's no stress of like, I mean, if they don't pick Mendoza, then there's a whole other discussion there. But like, this is like the first time where like there just seems like a real bit of hope for this franchise. Um, and obviously he had the Carr years, but those kind of slowly declined after the injury. But like, this is the first time where you look at it, the offense is young. You have that young offensive coach. Like, we haven't had this for who knows how long because you got Gruden, you got Josh McDaniels, you saw like Antonio Pierce saga. Like, there's been a lot, but this is the first time where you know you're excited about something. So as much as I don't like to bring fandom in this, it's just like this is like
How can you
I'm so excited
not?
for that.
How can you not?
Like, it's just like when that pick comes in and I'm sitting there because I'm doing that live draft show. Like, I'm gonna try my
Yeah.
best, but like I'm just gonna smile seeing if he. I don't know if he's gonna be there in Pittsburgh, but just holding up that jersey, like there's just that hope. And will it work out? Who knows? Knowing the Raiders look, probably not. But like for at least a couple of years, like you're excited about it, and you're
I'm
excited about
sorry.
what's to
Like,
come.
listen, I grew up in button down. Don't cheer in the press box. And listen, I'm still not for cheering in the press box. But I at the same
Yeah.
time,
Yeah,
I'm not I'm not hiding my fandom anymore. I'm not. I'm a Patriots guy. I'm excited about what happened. Was it a 1 year wonder? I don't. I mean, they're not. It's not going to be the Commanders' follow up year. I know that much.
no,
But we're not. I'm just this. I'm genuinely excited, even with one pick in the first round. I'm excited about my team. And listen, pay. All I will say, I put the graphic up before, but subscribe to the Huddle. Okay, subscribe to our Huddle newsletter. There's some really. I don't want to tip my hand too much, but there's some really interesting things. Uh, if you want to share your fan stories about why you love the draft, there's some interesting payoff coming for fandoms and for sharing your story. But it's exciting time here. Pittsburgh, man, Pittsburgh. Like, talk about a city that deserves the draft. So there's just so many things to be giddy about heading
shut
into
it down the
this.
schools.
Yep. Luke, final thoughts from you?
I mean, I'm just not as good of a speaker as Daniel apparently because this dude has a way with words. But I mean, I agree, man. Like it, the, I like some like the beginning of the playoffs, the wild card round. I think that's probably one of my favorite weekends just because there's always or usually so many good games. We won't say always because sometimes the playoffs have some stinkers in there. But the draft, like again, like I said, it's a week that everybody can be excited about, and it's more than just a week. It's what 3 months, March, pretty much half of all of
Exactly.
February,
Yeah,
all of March,
pretty
end of
much.
April. 2.5 months where everybody can be like, if my team gets this guy, we can be a playoff team. Like everybody believes that if they hit it right next year, they can be a playoff team.
I mean, and I hate to say this, but it's
Except for
like
the Browns.
I feel like excellent. The monkeys have. I feel like Mr. Burns. It's like, um, what's happening with the NFL for me in terms of of it being a year-round discussion is exactly what I was begging for this to be like 10 years ago. What's happening right now, they're brilliant in terms of how they're stretching out the calendar. I am salivating at the idea of an 18-week schedule and it ending 2 weeks later and having 2 more weeks to talk about real football. Um, Kudos to the NFL. And by the way, kudos to ESPN, and the first draft show, the NFL Draft Daily. Um, I feel like it's me all the talk in what we're doing here, and it's meeting the moment in terms of the fan level interest in the draft. Um, I think, quite honestly, I don't want to speak for our founders, for instance, but I think they've been, as much as we might have pushed this ahead of bringing in Tony Pauline, of bringing in Daniel Rios and really making the draft a push. As much as I believed in it, um, they took a gamble, and I think they're even shocked at how much interest there's been around the draft. I don't know if it's like exploded, even the hype ahead of the draft this year has exploded more so than usual. The interest, even in a down year, supposedly in terms of overall prospects, right? I feel like the overall interest with the draft is at a all time high right now, and I'm excited to kind of be riding the wave with you two.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
and
it's a
and
great time of the year.
next year's going to be even crazy. I know we talked about the quarterbacks, but you just look at the other players. Jeremiah
Oh
Smith
yeah.
is coming out next year. Cam Coleman, Justin Scott, the defensive tackle from Miami, is a guy that I'm high on. Like, I hate to talk about those players a year early because we still got this draft coming up, but like I'm pumped for next season already, and that's the psychoness in me. I'm ready to watch the tape. I'm ready to get going in the summer. Like, I'm ready to start scouting up because it's a fun class.
So by the way, uh, I'm actually going to put out my first mock draft in the next couple of days.
Wow.
I am more of a take it all in sort of guy, whereas Tony has just put out mock draft 4.0. And some of these draft nicks are on like 8.0. I'm more of the wait till 3 weeks before sort of guy, and we are now officially, as we broadcast this, we are 3 weeks and 3 weeks 2 hours and 50 minutes away from the first pick.
Oh man, we got the countdown on the
We
second
do.
monitor.
We do. So exciting times. Check out Tony's 2 round mock draft that got posted today on ES. We're still efforting, and Daniel, you still have time to make changes. But I think we'll get Daniel's up one way or the other tomorrow. I was hoping we could have some some graphical issues resolved, but uh, get your any tweaks that you want to do to what you turned in. Get that settled, and we'll get that up tomorrow. Luke's, I'm sure you've got another mock coming at us early next week.
Yeah.
Don't want to put words in your mouth, or like, you haven't
No,
talked to
it's
your
time. It's been a
editor
couple
yet,
weeks.
but yeah. Um, but listen, check it out, guys. So much coverage on Essentially Sports right now. So much more to come. This is just a taste of it, right? We're so excited to do this. Yeah. I kind of knew it talking to Daniel on the phone last Thursday that he not what that he would probably be the star of this first show, the breakout star of this first show. Luke, yeah, we got to fix your lighting. We got to fix,
Yeah. Hey,
you
I'm
know,
about to move, so once I move, we're gonna get more professional here.
nice, nice. Um, by the way, I don't think it's out yet, but it's coming. We keep teasing this. We did a show in New York when we were there. By the time, it's a little stale at this point, but I think still relevant. Um,
Yeah.
and it should be out in the next day or so. If it's not out already, I haven't checked my WhatsApp while we're recording. It might have come out while we recorded here. And Tony, Tony and I, next episode coming at you of the Draftcast coming at you Monday. So a lot of great stuff coming up with the draft coverage. Follow us here on EssentiallySports.com, on the YouTube channel, on the website, on the Huddle newsletter, and we'll see you next time here on Mock Draft Live.